Hello, guys. Welcome back. Episode 6. Nice to have you guys back here again. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
I'm Eli.
My name's Eli.
And this is Eli and me.
So last episode we talked about some of our favorite coffee shops and the news with the gyms and all that sort of stuff going on. But today we're going to be talking about some more kind of bigger picture Canada type.
Not so much
trips and stuff
local,
like- yeah.
local, but
But things that are
national.
accessible to people in Kelowna that
Yeah,
I think everybody should go and do at some point in their life. So
yeah. The first thing being like places that we've traveled to,
yeah,
or that we plan on traveling to.
yeah.
In Canada, in particular.
Yeah. Well, before that, I guess we could give a little bit of like context as to where we've traveled in the past.
Yeah,
Because,
sure.
as beautiful as BC is, I love just the sites that there is in BC and
Yeah.
Canada as well. But I've traveled to a few different countries. Like, I wouldn't say I'm like the most well-traveled, but I've been to a few different countries in Europe.
Done
and-
your fair share, that's for sure.
Well,
Or
what
a
can I
share.
say? But yeah, I've gone to places. I've gone to England to visit family. Italy last summer I went to. I've been to Germany. I was there for a bit, but
Some
those
mission
are just
trips
kind of
and
like
stuff.
just some kind of like visits I've done with my family, and my dad took me to Europe once, and just last summer I went to Europe with my girlfriend, and that was great. But yeah, I think it's great to kind of go and see the world.
We kind of talked about when we were referring to how Rutland nightlife should improve and kind of like the back alley, how you experienced kind of a site of that in Italy, in Rome when you went. Tell us a little bit more about your trip to
Yeah.
Europe over there.
Yeah. Just last summer we went to Rome. So that was really nice. It's like it's kind of interesting because it's got such a rich history of like modern. It's kind of where Western culture derived from. So that kind of was why I was initially interested in kind of going over there, and it was super fun. Just kind of went around the city for a bit, and we took lime scooters. They have lime scooters in Kelowna too, but lime scooters there are just everywhere, and yeah, it was just a ton of fun taking those scooters around, and just that was our main method of transportation. So
Yeah.
that was super fun. Got to see the Colosseum, got to see the Vatican. But yeah, that kind of what I was talking about in what was it, episode 2 or 3? Yeah, that was kind of talking about the restaurants in Trastevere where we stayed, and I probably butchered the pronunciation there, but yeah, the restaurants, they have just alleyways just dedicated to foot traffic, and the restaurants in those alleyways are just completely packed. But yeah, it's a super cool feeling if you're ever to visit Rome, to visit the restaurants there. It's a super rich kind of like culture around food and cuisine. So yeah, highly recommend.
Would you say the Colosseum was as beautiful or as like interesting as it seems to the public eye kind of thing?
Totally. It's the Colosseum is, I think, one of those things that you have to see it like once in your lifetime, I think. And we took a guided tour through the Colosseum and Palatine Hill, and it was just really inspiring, and just to be where these people historically stood, and to experience, and or at least like imagine what the people were going through at the time, and the struggles and the recreation. That was like their form of recreation, is watching these barbarian fights and stuff like that.
Definitely a lot of history.
Yeah, and there's also like a lot you can learn from it too, but it's kind of it's a big tangent that I could go on about it, but I'll refrain this time. But yeah, I definitely say that going to Rome, like the Colosseum, is probably one of the most spectacular things you'll see.
Yeah.
And definitely recommend. But
Yeah.
yeah, but you've traveled a little bit as well. I know you've got family in England as well. So where have you kind of been?
Yeah, so in England there, my dad and his family are from London. So different areas like Fulham, Chelsea, Chesington. and that. But another place in Europe I visited for a soccer tournament was Portugal.
Mm.
Lisbon is like the most well known, like the capital of Portugal. We went into Lisbon for the day, and like in Lisbon, it's a lot more like first world, like super modern and popular, and everyone's there. But where we were staying in Cascais, it was like not a third world country, but you could tell it was a lot more poor of an area. And like the like quality of the houses that we were walking like in the streets weren't as well kept, kind of thing. So it's super interesting, just like a different cultural standpoint.
Yeah, contrast there.
Yeah, but and just in general, the competition for soccer over there in Europe, it's crazy. We played against a team, like a local team that was hosting the tournament from Portugal, and it was our first game, so we didn't really know what we were up against, and we just got like slaughtered, like 6-1 or something like that.
Yeah, the difference in like because soccer being the main sport there, and it being like so like everybody plays it, so there's so much more competition than I think there is here. And you know, it would have been such a shock to go into that kind of tournament and just
definitely the highest
level
skilled highest level I've played against for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah, lots of fun though. We stayed at a hotel that was like 2 blocks away from the ocean. So we just walked down there like every evening. We'd walk down there and just hang out with the team. So
that's so cool.
Pretty nice restaurants down on the ocean there. But yeah, another place in Europe that I haven't been to before, but I want to go to. Well, definitely Italy. But yeah, like you said, Germany. I know they have the Oktoberfest, and like we were talking about a bunch of breweries here. That's like on my bucket list to go there for Oktoberfest.
That would be so fun.
Germany, the biggest beer fest in the world.
Yeah, so we got to get the 2 of us and the 3 others who got matching tattoos with us.
Yeah, make a trip over.
And get a trip going over there. But
I've had exchange students from Germany before, and
right.
they always say how popular and well known it is. And
yeah,
everyone goes there. So.
Yeah, it's true. It's a huge culture thing too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but you were talking about you know, being within a walking distance to the ocean. Yeah, and this isn't like traveling abroad, but traveling within BC. Yeah. To the island.
Yeah, great place to go to.
Yeah, it's like its own country, but in our kind of like in our backyard. Yeah. So. A few years ago I did the Juan de Fuca trail hike, and that was super fun. But parts of that hike you'd take along the ocean on the beach, and then other parts you'd camp a little inland, but you could still see the ocean through the trees and stuff like that, and it was just super inspiring. Up above
kind of thing.
Yeah. And being able to walk over to the ocean and just see all those rigid rocks and watch the tide come in and the dramatic waves kind of crashing against the rocks. And BC is probably one of the best places to kind of just observe nature in the ocean. And that.
Did you see any wild animals in the ocean at all? Or
we didn't see like any crazy like whales or anything. I think some people might have seen like whales in the distance, but not me. We definitely saw a lot of seals. Yeah, those are pretty common. And Micah, your brother, tried to like go swim out and touch a seal or something. But he would. Yeah, he would. But then our it was a school trip, so our teacher kind of told him, no, don't go near the seal. Yeah. But
as far as like prepping meals for that, was it like difficult, or did you find you did a pretty good job at prepping? How did that go?
Yeah, meals were a tough one. I think they encouraged us to really pack really light. Yeah. And like I get it. Some people are used to kind of being active, so it's tough to carry a backpack around for a few days, but I think they kind of got us to over prepare a little bit in that sense, because we were only doing like a 3-day hike, I think, and the amount that I had, which was kind of over the weight they said, I didn't have any problem with. Like you just got to pace yourself, and you know, you just have to kind of ration properly and pace yourself. But
for a 3-day hike that you went on, do you find that you could have lived more luxurious and packed a bit heavier, or packed too?
No, I'd say we just packed like appropriately. I mean, I took some, like, one of the things that they discouraged us from was bringing canned foods, because they're just so heavy and they come in a can and stuff. But I kind of like splurged and brought my favorite dish, Chef Boyardee, and one night I just cooked that up like in the can, and yeah, it was like a treat. So
Yeah.
you know, I was able to have the essentials and still have enough space in my bag to have like a treat every now and again.
Yeah,
But
that's awesome.
you know, it's not like I was eating candy bars or whatever,
Yeah.
but it was just like
It's not meant to torture you. It's meant
No,
to
yeah.
like, give you an experience, a fun time.
yeah.
So-
And you know, as long as you're like kind of conscious of you know, that other people are going to be taking the trail and you're not littering and you're being respectful, then it'll give you like more than it'll give you more than you put into it. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Another hike that I haven't done before. I haven't done the Juan de Fuca either, but I want to do the West Coast Trail on the island one day.
Yeah.
I've heard that's a long, tough, grilling hike. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of I think parts of it kind of coincide with the Juan de Fuca, but it's definitely like a lot more physically strenuous
yeah,
because you know, there are parts where you have to climb ladders and stuff like that, which sounds like just insane.
yeah,
I think it would be really, really fun to do as well.
yeah.
And certain parts are also like time restricted, so you have to like catch a ferry at a certain time, and then
okay.
some places you can only walk through when the tide's down. So you know, certain parts of the day you can't go.
Kind of have to map that out before you go.
Yeah,
Kind of
and
plan
like
your hikes.
yeah, I'm not that well versed in BC hikes, but you know, if you do your research, you'll probably find more information. But from what I've seen about it, it's just one of the hardest hikes that some people have done, and
Yeah,
you know, some of my outdoorsy friends, but
definitely.
definitely seems like it's something that is worth it.
Yeah,
To
the island in general just has such a nice vibe. Like everything's so green there
mm-hmm.
because it's so like well watered, and the weather there is
Yeah,
a
for
little
sure.
bit. Yeah, more. The land is more fresh. It
Yeah.
just seems, you know.
But yeah, I've been to the island, which is awesome. But there's also so many places in Canada that Canada has to offer
yeah,
that I haven't been to,
yeah,
and like things that I want to see, that it's just like makes me want like throughout my life I just want to be able to have a list of things that I really want to like do.
yeah.
And I've been thinking about that, and like I've kind of come up with a list, but you know, I
What's
still have
the
to
top
polish it
one
off
on-
a little bit. But
What's the top one on there in Canada to get done?
in Canada, well, I think the top one, which would probably take the most like planning and stuff, or maybe not the most planning, but it would be probably the longest trip, would be to travel from coast to coast by rail.
Yeah,
And that would be super cool because, you know, the rails aren't used as much anymore, but they'd still have like a passenger train that goes from Vancouver to, I think it goes all the way down to like Halifax.
yeah,
And to take that train, especially like even in the wintertime or something, when you know, you see Canada as a winter wonderland sort of deal,
yeah,
and you know, see the wildlife along the rail tracks and stuff like that. It would be so inspiring, I
that'd
think.
be pretty sweet.
So that's the top one on mine. But do you have any kind of like dreams of visiting places in Canada?
Yeah, in Canada in particular, I've only really been in BC, a little bit of Alberta, and,
Yeah.
not much over east, but like Toronto is somewhere that I really want to go to. Go to a Raptors game would be something fun
for
in
sure.
the city to go to, and then over there they have Niagara Falls, obviously, the CN Tower, some
Yeah.
little like tourist things that a lot of people come to Canada. When you think coming to Canada, Toronto would probably be the biggest city in Canada
Yeah.
to go to and for tourists to visit. But I feel like a lot of what I want to do would be similar to that.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
going to a Raptors game, I think,
Yeah.
is definitely on the list for sure.
That's fair enough too, because like, you know, that is a really big thing to do in Canada. And
Yeah.
I've been to Toronto once, and it was sweet. It's like you kind of have to know where you come from before you kind of like
Definitely.
it's before you kind of branch out. But no, going to Toronto was super cool. It's like so many people there and such a
Yeah.
big city.
Yeah, but Toronto like is the furthest possible away kind of thing from where we are in BC. A long journey, and like flights right now are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, it's true. You can get flights to, you know, to other continents for less than you can get a flight to some other parts of Canada for. So
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
it is it's really annoying.
Yeah. In not so much the other side of Canada, but like even in Alberta, like within driving distance, I'd say like most popular but also highly recommend trip would be driving and visiting Banff on your way to like Canmore and Calgary kind of thing. That's a road trip we did last summer.
Yeah.
So much fun.
It's a super fun trip. The drive, especially from the Okanagan, is just insane. Going through like Rogers Pass and passing through Golden. It's like you're just traveling through the Rockies for hours, and it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we didn't do is stay in Banff because it was really expensive, but definitely recommend spending at least one day out there.
Yeah. It's super cool.
Like
and
Lake Louise, beautiful sight to see.
Yeah. And if you're into skiing, they also obviously have like Banff Ski Resort, which is, world renowned. Yeah. And we stayed. Yeah, we went in Banff, and there's lots of cool touristy restaurants and souvenir shops, and they have like different outdoor brands.
Yeah.
That all have like their outlet shops there. So it's not outlet shops, but
Yeah, like super local kind of thing. Like the vibe was just like mountain town. You know what I mean? Like
it's not too commercialized. It's just kind of like
I think over time it probably will be, unfortunately, but you even look at like Tofino and how they've kind of built it to like this tourist like attraction.
Totally.
And what happens with that is prices just go way up. So Banff, like we were saying, is super expensive to stay in, but Canmore, where we stayed in, super small town as well, but just as nice and cheaper. So yeah,
Canmore was fun. We went to some of the places that some of the cool restaurants. They have a bagel factory type place, and we got breakfast there a few times. And they have some cool restaurants and breweries there as well, and they have everything that you need, plus a lot more. But lots of people just focus on Banff, and they don't kind of care about the Canmore, which is only like a 30-minute drive away or so, or less. Yeah. But talking to people in Canmore, it was like they all went out. If they were going out for a night out, and they would just go to Banff and then get a cab back or whatever. It's literally that close that you can just do that. So
you just hop on the highway, and then next stop you're there.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. So and a day trip, even what we did into Calgary, kind of downtown. Go to the big mall they have there. So.
Yeah, they have a good mall there too.
Yeah, super fun to visit, but that's more big city, kind of similar to Toronto, but again, cheaper to stay, I guess, than Toronto.
Yeah.
It's crazy how in BC, I'd say the nicest province in Canada, as far as like tourist attractions and just sites. Like Revelstoke has become so much more popular. Yeah. But such a nice town and like so much to do there. I feel like
it's a great place.
Yeah. They have like the carts where you like hop on the yellow carts and you can go like you take a gondola up and then in the summer it's open and you go down on these yellow carts and you drive in between. Is it
like a roller coaster?
Yeah, pretty much. But it's just one person, so you're on your own, and you can brake if you want to slow down. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend.
No, you just got to go full speed. Yeah. No, Revelstoke's definitely a place that I haven't spent enough time in. And even the drive to Revelstoke, there's Sycamoose on the way. Yeah. And they have De Dutchman, I think. Yeah, that's like that would be a cool place to visit as well on the road trip. But there's like all sorts of road trips that you can go out in that direction, which I feel like are kind of underrated. Yeah. Lots of people like to travel down south to Vancouver. And that's a good place to go as well, obviously. Because it's a big city and it's the closest one to us, but driving through the Rockies is like just incredible. Yeah, and
I think the Coquihalla like is pretty sketchy in the winter to drive. Definitely, but in the summer it's so beautiful. Oh get a view of all the mountains, especially on like a nice clear day. Yeah, if you're driving during the day down to Vancouver, it's like 5-hour drive to downtown Vancouver. But even if you want to go to like Surrey or Chilliwack or something, like 3.5-4 hour drive. Not bad at all.
No, it's not that bad at all. I mean, like, to think that some of the other places that we could drive to, like Nelson and stuff, are just as far as that. So it's not that bad really. And I know people like my age might like our age might relate to this, but now that I can driving the Coquihalla just feels like really fast. Yeah. But before, when I would go in like my parents' vehicle, then it just felt like so long when I was younger. I think that's the case with like every road trip. But if you don't have your license yet, then like you'll definitely find this. But
Yeah.
but when you get your license, car rides just don't feel like a big deal at all. It's just
No.
like you do a road trip. It takes planning, and then you do it, and then it just takes like feels way quicker than you
Yeah.
make it out to be.
Our Canmore trip, when
Yeah.
there was 5 of us in one car, we were
Yeah.
just talking, we were
Yeah.
singing so loud the whole time. It went
Yeah.
by. It was like a 5-hour drive, but it felt
Yeah.
like 2.
No, it was so
Yeah,
fun.
making stops along the way.
Yeah,
Also
you got to.
Similar to the Dutchman Dairy, another stop on the way, kind of out that way, would be Log Barn.
Right.
Yeah.
in
Every
Enderby?
time.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time I go out there, we stop.
Logborn.
Yeah.
I have only been there once, I think, actually. So
Okay.
it's not like something that my family really made a big deal of going
Yeah.
to, because we just went to Enderby to like visit family.
Yeah.
But
as you get older, there's not as much to do there. You kind of just
Yeah.
let the animals quick. It's
Totally.
like a 5-minute pee stop, and then you're good to go.
yeah,
But yeah, the drive-in theater is also right down the road from there.
yeah, that only takes like an hour to get to from Kelowna, so
Yeah,
it's
super
definitely very accessible.
fun. Yeah, super fun idea to do with friends. or-
Yeah. And if you got like a big vehicle, just like set up a mattress in the back or
Oh,
something,
yeah.
and just go with a bunch of friends.
that would be one of the main reasons I buy a truck.
Yeah,
Just to throw a mattress. in the back.
definitely. And the Enderby drive-in theater is one of the last ones in Canada.
Is it?
It's like, I think it's one of the last, I don't know if it's Canada, BC or whatever,
Yeah.
but one of the last like 2.
Yeah. So Starlight Drive-in is what it's called.
Starlight,
if you're looking
yeah.
to go in the summer.
And they've got like it's not like they play old movies or anything.
No.
It's like they actually have, it's a proper theater. They play current movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, most people know about it, but if you didn't, like, there's a little rundown on it. You just
Yeah.
kind of drive in, buy your ticket, find a good spot, and then you just watch a movie until
Yeah.
the early AM.
Yeah. It is a late night if you
Yeah.
are going to watch both movies. You get home pretty late, driving in the dark for sure. But if you're comfortable doing that and you had a good night's sleep the night before,
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend.
Yeah, or you have a day off the next day, obviously.
Yeah. But in that area, like if you're going out that way, there's some pretty nice hikes as well.
Mm.
I know in Sycamoose there, I went to a Spectrum Lake. So we did a hiking trip, kind of like the Wandafuka, but definitely a lot easier because there's like built-in trail and like stairs at some parts. But Spectrum Lake is like the base camp.
Mm.
So we set up there, and then we did a day hike to Little Peters, and then even further to Big Peters.
Right.
At the top of Big Peters, like the mosquitoes were just horrible.
Oh.
We just went in the lake in our underwear for like 5 minutes and then got clothed again because we were like, this is stupid.
There's probably like leeches in the water.
Probably, yeah. We
It's
never
probably like a
noticed,
really
but there
nice lake,
definitely
fresh
was.
water, but
Yeah, but Spectrum is the base camp.
Yeah.
I'd recommend going there.
that's cool.
Super
Yeah.
close hike overnight if
I'll
you
have to
want
do that
it
sometime,
back.
yeah.
I think it would be really fun with friends, like a group of friends.
Yeah.
Because we go camping to like Kettle River and stuff like that, or
Mhm.
the lake out by Big White there. But I think that going on a backpacking trip is just so much more, I guess, refreshing in the sense that you're in nature without like setting up your
Yeah.
like, speakers and
Yeah,
stuff like
you don't
that.
you
know?
don't have like your car to just pull stuff out of
No.
like coolers and stuff.
Yeah.
You have to like really prepare.
Yeah,
And
more
yeah, and then
authentic.
yeah, and you're kind of just out of service.
Yeah.
You spend more time intentionally with nature, so
Yeah.
yeah.
We wouldn't be bringing a keg up there.
No.
But yeah, it'd definitely be a fun trip, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Another fun hiking trip is even like, I know I plan on doing it. Oh, what's it called?
Which one? Where is it?
It's out by Revelstoke. It's like,
I don't remember what it's called, but it's the one with like the lakes and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
there would be lakes, yeah.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous place around there,
Yeah.
and it's a hike through the mountains, and the end goal is you get to this lake,
Yeah.
and it's like just clear blue water, and it's beautiful. But I can't remember the name right now.
We'll
for some
talk
reason.
about it next week.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
guess, so.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe if we remember it while we're editing, or
Yeah.
we'll put the title down there. But
Yeah.
yeah,
On road trips though, the most like important thing I feel like is either packing food or finding a good place to stop.
yeah.
Especially after like a hiking trip, you want a good meal.
You want to stop somewhere that's like, well, for us, we want to stop somewhere that's like not too expensive,
Yeah.
but still has really good food. And so like, finding the right fast food place
Yeah.
is probably the most important thing while you're on a road trip.
really
Like,
crucial. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you might pass by like an Arby's or something, and you're like, Nah, I think I'm good.
Don't really want to eat there.
Yeah, you can't just pick one place, like the first place you see, because it could just be an Arby's
or a 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
you don't
no.
wanna get a taquito could slap.
a taquito. Yeah, one of
yeah.
the Monterey Jack chicken taquitos or a jalapeno. Oh,
yeah.
but
Or like a chicken samosa in there or something like that. I wouldn't mind. But yeah, there's some pretty good stops. What are some of your favorite places for food
I
on
mean,
road trips?
a kind of iconic road trip stop would be a Subway.
100%.
I feel like every town has like a Subway in it for some reason.
Yeah.
Also same with like Dairy Queen and A&W. Like those places are in pretty much every town you go to. It's really random. They won't have like a McDonald's or anything, but they'll just have like a Dairy Queen and an A&W, usually across from each other too. But
on the same block.
Yeah.
Competing with each other for prices.
Yeah, my favorite would probably be. I mean, obviously a classic would be Timmy's.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons. You can't go wrong with Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
But like any time of the day, usually open like 24 hours. You know, you get a farmer's wrap in the morning. I mean, you could get a farmer's wrap and feed yourself all day with that, but I mean, they have the perfect meal for every day part. So, but Subway, make your own sandwich.
Chicken bacon ranch wrap.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, beautiful. My favorite would probably be Wendy's.
Oh yeah.
I definitely get. Every time I go there, I get the Dave's double combo.
Right.
Throwing a little frosty in there.
Yeah,
chocolate
of course.
Frosty.
Yeah, back to our roots in soccer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Playing in. Yeah, I love those little coupons, free Frosty on a Saturday after your game. You just lost 8-1 to the Mission team and the Club Penguin team.
It's classic.
Yeah, and you go and get your Frosty.
No, Wendy's is a classic as well for road trips.
I definitely want to do a lot more traveling in life, though.
Yeah,
it's something that I feel like I have the opportunity to do quite often, especially where I live. So I want to take advantage of that for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really amazing places that we can visit, even just around our valley here.
Yeah.
And you know, if we're talking about hikes, there's like Spion Cop. That's a really good one. I know if you're looking for like backpacking trips, you can go on the the High Rim Trail. It goes like all the way from Vernon to. Pretty sure you can travel further than Kelowna, but I know it meets up in Kelowna.
Yeah.
I mean, like
the KVR, like Meyer Canyon.
Yeah.
Pretty flat. It's not really a hiking trail, but up in the mountains, nice walk, and you get an experience of like the 18 bridges and 2 tunnels in there.
Yeah, and like any excuse to get outdoors really is just a blessing, really. So we have a lot of those around here, but yeah.
Drop down below some of your favorites.
Yeah,
we'd love to learn from you guys as well.
yeah. If we're definitely trying to plan some trips this summer. So if you have any places we forgot to mention, then just drop them down below, and we'll definitely look into it. But yeah.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in again for episode number 6. We'll see you again for episode number 7.
Yes, indeed. Hope you guys have a good one.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe down below. Peace.
Deuces.